The Acme company manufactures widgets. The distribution of widgets' weights is bell-shaped. The widget weights have a mean of 49 ounces and a standard deviation of 10 ounces. Use the empirical rule to answer the following. 95% of the widgets lie between what two values? Okay, well, in order to answer this, we have to think about what the empirical rule tells us in the first place. So let me scroll down a bit and write up some notes here. So first off, the empirical rule says that within there's 68% of the data within one standard deviation of the mean. And we can expect about 95% of the data within 2 standard deviations of the mean, and 99.7% of the data within 3 standard deviations of the mean. And that's provided that we're working with a bell-shaped set of data. Now, to figure out what these values are that are 1, 2, and 3 standard deviations from the mean, a great way of doing that is just make a number line and count off by standard deviations. So I'll put 0 as the center, and that's going to be my mean. So the mean of this distribution was 49. So I'll put 49 right here. Then the standard deviation was 10. So if I go 1 standard deviation to the right, that gives me a value of 59. If I go 1 standard deviation to the left, that's 39. So then 2 standard deviations and 3 standard deviations, we'd have 69 and 79. Then -2 and -3, this would be 29 and 19. Okay, so now looking at the empirical rule, this 95% is the value that represents 2 standard deviations, the percent of data within 2 standard deviations of the mean. So the question is then, which values are 2 standard deviations from the mean? So within 2 standard deviations of the mean, I had 29 and 69. So those are my answers here. Now, what percentage of the widget weights lie between 49 and 59? So 49 and 59, those values I see right there and right there. So there is 68% of the distribution's area between 39 and 59, because those are the values that are within 1 standard deviation of the mean. But this distribution, being bell-shaped, is perfectly symmetric. So what we can assume is there's actually 34% on the left and another 34% of the data on the right of those values. So you can just take half of the 68 to say that between 49 and 59, there's about 34% of the data. Okay, and lastly here, what percentage of the widget weights lie between 19 and 79 ounces? So here's 19, here's 79. Notice that these 2 values are the values that are 3 standard deviations from the mean in both directions. So what that means is going to the empirical rule, within 3 standard deviations is about 99.7% of the data. So that's my answer for this particular question.